should be live. So should be good to go. Oh, let me real quick see here. Should be live and ready to go. Another night of racing here. Noticed earlier there was a very small amount of signups for the actually, let me see something real quick. That's a probably fix that. There we go. Should be live. Just waiting here. Oh, looks like we're good. Let's see real quick. I'm basically doing this all by myself, seeing if we're good to go. Looks like we're good. All right. Just waiting here on the UID grab. Gotta make sure to turn up the volume again. Last week, or not last week, but I streamed for EMF this week, and I noticed when I watched the playback that my volume was really low on the bike sound, so make sure to have that turned up tonight. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. In chat, Seth. Yeah, I apologize to anybody for this, the skins. I mean, like I said, this isn't really like my job, so I don't, I will not have the skins that were in the thread. There might be a few that I've downloaded just because I had them, but yeah, definitely don't have as many as Matthias. So I apologize there, but like I said, just filling in for the week once again. I kind of can't do anything now. If there's a pretty big break in between, I might be able to, but at this point I don't know if I'll be able to do any skins in time. But Oh, I'm in 450 Supercross Heat 1. Let's get it. Alright, now watching chat tonight, I apologize, like if I don't answer anything, like I said, I'm kind of doing this on my own tonight. I don't have 2 monitors. I have a cell phone, and that's it. So, I apologize to anybody that says something in chat and I don't respond right away. But, anyways, we're going to be getting off and running here with Novice Heat 1. Going with Danner Barton, actually, real quick. Let me turn up the volume just to make sure we were good to go. Go. Let me turn up just a tad bit more, actually. Oh. Apologize anybody missing this start. Take full blame for that. But anyways, out front is James Beston. Behind him is Trey Smith on the XFR Motorsports ride. Jumping over, trying to get the triple, is Ethan Holland. I actually want to turn that up even more. Looks a little bit better. Man, these guys bouncing through this first or second whoop section. I should say, oh, in the background was Tyler Costanga guy. I don't even know. Michael Barnett gets around him now in the Rockstar Suzuki. Here comes Kent Geyser. Rasmus Eriksson goes down on the finish line. Going around him was Jesse Carter. A couple other good riders. Yeah, Braden Eel on a bike that I have absolutely no idea what that thing is. It's like Ricky Harmon. I just called him Harmon. I got a cough up my mouth. I can't talk. So we got a battle for the, I think the 9th spot possibly. I'm not too sure though. Oh, Hardman's gonna run it in on Garrett and get the pass made. So now Hardman's gonna go after Braden Eel, and he gets around him. So, oh, in the background looks like Eel and Garrett stack up. That's gonna allow Michael Barnett to get around with Jared Kern coming up short. Oh, he took out Trevor Schaefer. Or no, that was not Trevor Schaefer. That was Rasmus again. Trevor Schaefer gets around this group. So Barnett holds down your last transfer right now in 9th place. He is the guy on the bubble. Back out front, it is now Tyler Costanga. I can't say this guy's last name. Might be Costan. I don't know. I keep wanting to think of Seinfeld, say Costanza. Oh, Beston and Holland get together in the sand. It's going to allow Trey Smith to inch away in second. Tyler still running his own race out front. To anybody watching, I am expecting a very important phone call tonight. So at one point in the stream, if I don't have somebody to co-host with me, I will have to just stream without talking. But hopefully we will get through that just fine, or the phone call might not come in. We'll see. But just a heads up. As your leader goes down in that second set of whoops, like I was talking about, these guys have been kind of bouncing around in there. Is Beston going to take over the lead? No, he's pretty far back. They're going on to lap 4 of this Heat 1 race. Let's go back and look at the bubble spot. It is still, no, Barnett has actually moved up to 8th. So 9th right now is Jesse Carter. And that's Ethan Holland behind him. Ethan stacks it up going into the Race Tech Bales there. And wow! Whoa! It looks like that was Braden Eel trying to put an aggressive pass. Oh, Seth Garrett goes down in that pretty hard rhythm section. Oh, and he DC'd. So that first rhythm section is going to be pretty hard on those T50s tonight. Out front now, it is the 92 ride of James Beston. Looks like next lap should be the white flag lap. We got a battle for second here between Hardman and Trey Smith possibly developing. No, it looks like Hardman lost a good bit of time on Trey now. And in the background was Tyler that went down in the fourth spot. Jesse Carter jumping into the sand. Not going to get up close enough. We got maybe a battle here between Danner Barton and Rasmus Erkasasson. Getting all sorts of sketchy through the whips. Looks like this is for 7th. Oh, wow. Here we go. We got the battle now. Looks like somebody went off into the stands. That would have been Michael Barnett. So, he went. Oh, wow. Jared Grigo just got decked by Danner Barton. So, geez. This is for the last. No, this is for only 9th. So these guys are just trying to get away from Trevor Schaefer, who holds down 10th at the moment. I'm actually gonna message line 0 real quick, as it looks like chat is blowing up. There we go. Holding down 8th, and now Danner Barton behind him. Eli Block. So now Eli Block comes out of nowhere and moves into the last transfer. Yeah, I think. Wait, yeah, Block's 9th, so I don't know where Block came from. He kind of came out of nowhere. It's like Schaefer really fell back. So, back out front, it's James Beston just trying to survive his way to the finish line as he takes out a lapper trying to get back on the track. But it should be the 92 of James Beston taking your Heat 1 victory here in the novice Heat 1. Good ride for James. Second is going to be Ricky Hardman. Possibly, yep. Ricky Hardman comes in second. Jesse Carter is going to come across in third. Trey Smith is going to get fourth. Rasmus Eriksson, as long as he can stay smooth to the finish, he should be able to get across for fifth. Tyler Castangua, whatever you want to say. So Rasmus gets a fifth. Tyler gets a sixth. Kent Kaiser. Oh, Jared Kern just comes out of nowhere now and finds himself in a transfer. So coming across in seventh is going to be Kent Kaiser. Jared Kern's going to get eighth. And out of nowhere, ninth, it's going to be Jared Grigo. Takes your last transfer spot. So Barnett, Barton, and Block were all in a spot there at one point in this race and ultimately fell down right at the end. So unfortunately for those guys, they will be having to find themselves in the LCQ tonight. So cuts do not change anything for the top 9 and top 10, anything actually. So nothing changes there. Everything will stay the same as we will keep rolling on now, going into heat number 2 of the novice class. Alright, for anybody that says anything in chat, I will not be able to see it. I have to plug my phone in because I don't have 2 monitors because I'm not cool like that. So I will check chat after this race. But for now, we are going to get off and running here with Novice Heat 2. We're going to go with Brian Newman off the start from the Rocky Mountain ATV/MC ride. And he might actually have a good start. He's going to slide it in. Gets a really good start and then gets taken down. So it's going to be Max Bliss out front. Behind him, he's got Kevin Gonzalez getting all sorts of squirrely. Aaron Gordon. That's the name of an NBA player, I thought. But apparently it's the name of an MX Sim player. So, oh, wow. That was Kevin Gonzalez putting a sweet pass on Spicer. And now he dives to the inside on, looks like, Ashley Deering. And he looks like he made the pass. And he's also going to get around into the lead. So Gonzalez just made a bunch of passes to that rhythm section. And all of a sudden he's in the lead now. Now he's got Bliss following closely. Spicer in third. Aaron Gordon cuts down and gets around the Keystone Racing rider of Brandon Crace. He's getting all sorts of sketchy in the whoops and goes down. Zane Yurk gets around him, possibly. Taz Hutch easing his way through this second set of whoops. Ashley Deering, Brandon Quigley, Hayden Grimes, Brandon Wolf, Justin Dye, Jacob Rothman, John Murray, Travis Levy, Chris Hogberg. That was Newman, Albert, Creedon, and Joel Mello. Either had a late start to this race or just has been struggling. But it's been your rundown on the field in this Heat 2 race of the novice class. Out front, Red Line Racing rider of Kevin Gonzalez starting to run his own pace out front and pull away from the rest of the field as Max Bliss tries to keep in touch with him, but he's not doing very well at that as Gonzalez is running a very good pace in this novice class. Ashley Deering runs a solid third. I'm looking for a battle right now. Looks like there's Crace. Looks like there's a couple riders down. A bunch of riders. Wow! There's about 5 riders down there, and they're all in transfers. And here comes other riders. And oh, wow! Ping-balling off of each other, I should say. Is pinballing, actually, would probably be the better word there. But, it is what it is. Anyways, Travis Levette's getting all sorts of sketchy. So I would have to say this is a battle for right around that last transfer spot. And wow, these guys are going crazy right now, all going down. Nobody wants to stay up. Rothman's going to have to single behind him. Here comes Levette. Can he get a better line? Oh, it looks like that was Rothman that went down. So Levette's going to get around. And I want to say Travis is now in... I'm not actually sure what spot he is in. He looks like he's in 8th, so that's Albert Trange. Oh, here comes the battle for 9th. Oh, my gosh. So now it's going to be Hayden Grimes gets into the last spot. Behind him, here comes Matrix Concept. Rider to the inside. John Murray barely misses the stripper pole. Can he get the run? Hayden Grimes. Oh, John Murray jumps to the inside. Somebody's trying to get around Grimes again. That would be Travis. So this battle for 9th is where the action's at, and whoa! So it looks like Hayden Grimes got into the back of John there, and I thought John had got sent off a little sketchy, but it looks like he is okay. So as this battle dies down for a little bit, nothing dies down in this novice class, of course. Looks like Zane York was out front, I had noticed, but didn't last very long as Kevin Gonzalez takes that lead right back from him. So you got, whoa! Wow, how did none of those guys go legs off? Surprise right there. I thought for sure one of them guys would go legs off, but they both stay up and running. They look like they're in a top 5 spot. Yes, they are. Aaron Gordon in a battle with Brandon Crace from Keystone Racing, and looks like Aaron could not get the line to the rhythm. Looks like Justin Dye gets the line possibly. And he gets it smooth. He's running in the 8th spot. So back to the 9th place spot everyone wants right now that is not in that top 9. Looks like Hayden Grimes holds that last spot, but he has to go single double. Maybe a little bit of a novice line there. I've never seen that. But he did not help out Matrix Concept Racing rider of John Murray because he ended up getting to the back of him. So in the background, looks like Max Spice is trying to get up into this battle as Rothman gets around Hayden Grimes, and wow, gets really close to Hayden Grimes' front wheel. I'm surprised they did not get hit right there. Slide. Oh, I knew that was going to be trouble when he was trying to come back on track. So it's going to be Spicer now into 10th. So Rothman holds your last spot. Back up front, it is still Kevin Gonzalez. Ashley Deering is a good ways back in second. I see Gonzalez using that inside line. I have not seen a lot of riders use that. Oh, excuse me. Chinese food is coming back up. See, this is why you need sleep. I can't talk tonight. Ugh. Only slept I think I slept like maybe 5 or 6 hours, so excuse my porous language. So, anyways, it's still Kevin Gonzalez out front. Ashley Deering is in second. Zane Urich third. Gets a little front wheel high there in the whoops, but keeps it going. Brandon Quigley runs in fourth. Max Bliss in fifth. Brandon Cray sixth. Aaron Gordon seventh. Max Spicer eighth. I think Spicer was just going to come back on the track. I think I missed Justin Dye, maybe? Justin Dye's in 8th, so Spicer drops back to 9th, and Rothman is now in 10th, so keep an eye on this as Kevin Gonzalez has a very sizable lead, and it looks like there's a pile up in the turn. Spicer somehow doesn't get front wheel lock, and it was all positions, and I think the person that's going to get most screwed out of this is going to be Brandon Crace. He's going to drop all the way back to 10th, possibly 11th. Oh my, he can't get up. He just wants to get up and get going again. He finally gets up and gets taken right back down. Oh, man. Very bad luck there for Brandon Crace. So holding your last spot now is going to be Jacob Rothman as Kevin Gonzalez takes your Heat 2 win here in the novice class. As Ashley Deering is going to take a second. Wow. Good save there to the whoops. Ashley Deering comes across in second. Zane Urich should be third. Looks like everybody's pretty spread out, so Urich should be third, Quigley fourth, Bliss fifth, Spicer runs in sixth, Dye seventh, Gordon eighth, Rothman ninth, and watching Tass Hutch here as he's one of your remaining, I would have to say at this point he'd be your last guy on the track that might have a chance at this last spot. Well, actually, I'm going to take that back now because he's all over the place, and I just saw in the background Aaron Gordon was off the track, so this is going to be for the 9th spot. As Tass Hutch is all over the place, and Aaron Gordon just, I don't know what he was doing there. I'm not sure what he was thinking he could accomplish with trying to go that inside that quick. So, I think ultimately that's going to cost him any chance that he had at making this main in this heat race, and it's going to be Tass Hutch taking the final transfer. Rothman 8th, Dye 7th, Spicer 6th. Bliss is going to come across in 5th. Urich 4th, so Quigley, I think, got around Urich, or it looks like he lost it on cuts anyway, so it's like nothing changes, so everything stays the same, and that's that, so I'm not sure what they, oh wow. Looking at chat here, it looks like there is some. Oh man, I'm not sure what's going on. All I saw was ban and racial slurs, so always a fun night in chat as usual. And it looks like we're going to be skipping right over the 250 class. Looks like we're going right into the 450 class as the 250 class is a very, very, very low amount of signups tonight, so we will have no heats. And I reckon that the classes will be very light for the rest of the season as we are getting to the end of Supercross and people have had enough already. So it's going to be Isaiah Dickerson out. Wait, what? Isaiah Dickerson's out front. I thought this guy got a ban, but he's somehow out front. But all right, whatever. Christian Burdine second, Caden Specs third, Michael Hodge fourth, Caleb Hall fifth, Chris Riesenberg is in sixth. Ed Kozak, the premium Motorsports Yush, running in a transfer spot as he just goes right into Riesenberg there on the ground. But yeah, definitely not sure what's up with Isaiah out front. I was positive he got a permanent ban, but he is somehow out front. and definitely something that will probably have to be looked into, I would assume. But either way, he's out front. Caden Speck runs in second. Michael Hodge is third. Carter McKissick fourth. Caleb Hall is gonna be fourth now. Seth Jones is back here. Matthew Parise. Riesenberg is a little bit of a sketch ball trying to get back on the track. Gets back cleanly. Berdeen's in front of him. Here comes Premium Motorsports Shaved Kozak. He runs in the 8th spot, running in a solid transfer for the moment. Only needs to beat a few riders tonight. There's not a huge turnout as Josh Hernandez is really far back. Oops. So it is Riesenberg holding down your... No, it's not, actually. Why am I saying that? Whoa, where's Berdeen going? Whew! I'm not sure what the heck he hit, but Berdeen got sent all the way across the track, and he ends up in the other lane. So now my statement is valid as Riesenberg runs in 9th. So Riesenberg holds down your last spot, but I'm pretty sure he just went down the whoops. That's going to allow Kevin Davis to get around. Behind now, Riesenberg gets up in 10th, and McKissick is... Oh, man, Davis goes down. Here comes Riesenberg trying to hold off the fight of Christian Berdeen and cuts right down on Berdeen. I'm surprised he did not hit his front wheel. This is the battle for your last transfer spot. Berdeen trying to get a different line here. It doesn't look like anything's going to work for him at the moment. I think Berdeen might be running a faster pace than Chex, and he's going to get around. So Chris Riesenberg now falls back into 10th as Berdeen now moves into that final transfer spot on lap 3 here. But back up front, it's still the Nova Graphics, I thought, band rider of Isaiah Dickerson. But anyways, he is out front in this 450 AM amateur class. So I do want to point out, it looks like I know in this championship it's down to Matt Quigley and Chris Channing, and looks like neither of them guys are in this heat. As Caden Speck does the big pro line there in that rhythm section, but realized that pro was not for him just yet as he crashed at the end of the section. Still Isaiah up front, Hodge second, Seth third, Caleb Hall fourth, Caden Speck fifth, Matthew Parise getting up in 6th or 7th. Looks like 6th, yeah. So Ed Kozak going for an inside pass. No, my gosh, he's all sorts of sketchy. Woo! And that 450 might be a lot to handle for Ed's scrawny arms. But he gets it back going. He's still in 7th as Carter McKissick is in 8th. Looks like Checkers was 9th and he went down. So now he's going to have a battle from Aaron Cottrell. See if anything happens here. Cottrell runs it in deep into the left-hander there. Cottrell's all over the place in the background, but looks like we got a pile up here. Looks like it was Speck. I think Parise might have been involved, and McKissick was down there in that rhythm section. So just gonna tighten things up back here now in between about the 7th or 6th, maybe 6th on back. Speck's definitely running a pretty fast pace, it looks like. I think he might be doing this triple on. Let's see here. Yeah, so Speck's doing the triple on, so Speck's running a very good pace, but it looks like consistency is not his best thing. As you see again, he goes down and he's gonna end up losing the transfer spot to Checkers. So definitely something Caden Speck might want to work on there is consistency. But once again, still the ever so eventful story of Isaiah Dickerson, and like I said, not sure if I'm not sure what the whole situation is with that. It very well could possibly be Isaiah Dickerson, and they finally came to the bottom of it, but I'm not too sure what happened with that whole situation. Either way, Michael Hodge runs in 2nd. Seth Jones cuts to the inside of a lapper there, so that was out for position. Caleb Hall. I saw this Parise getting up from a crash, so still Riesenberg now. So somebody has fallen back that was in that top. Looks like somebody. Might have been Speck. Yeah, it was definitely Speck, because now Speck runs 9th. So Either way, Specs trying to get around Checkers. This is for the last spot. Oh! Spec and Chex get together, and who's going to take advantage of that? That's going to be... That was Kevin Davis out of nowhere. So Davis now takes over. That looks like that was 8th, actually. So Checkers hangs on to the last spot. Back up front, it's going to be Isaiah Dickerson taking the win. Michael Hodge gets a very close second. Seth Jones is in a battle with No, that's Caleb Hall. Caleb Hall should come across in 3rd. Seth Jones is going to get a 4th. Carter McKissick should hang on to a 5th. And Kozak is down in the whoop section, looks like, with a lapper? I think it was a lapper. So Perez comes across in 6th. Kevin Davis jumps up to 7th. As long as Kozak gets through this whoop section, he should have an 8th. And he will be on his way to the main. And Chris Riesenberg is going to come across the line in the last spot. Aaron Cottrell is going to come across in 10th, and Caden Speck has fallen all the way back to 11th place. Christian Berdine is 12th. Josh Hernandez is stuck in the moto chasing Davalos Bells there, and I don't think he'll be moving anytime soon, so looks like he'll be taking on a last place finish here, which is a 13th. Let me ask a question in chat. Oh man, chat is awesome. I want to see if anybody has any answers to I don't know. Looks like nobody has anything about the Isaiah comment. So, like I said, maybe it is possibly Isaiah Racing. I do not know, but either way, top 9 stays the same. Or actually, there's a change up there. No, actually, no, it is the same. Nothing changed. So Riesenberg hangs on to the last transfer spot, and then it's like Isaiah. Oh wait, that's what changed. So Hodge got the win over Isaiah. I thought something had changed. So Michael Hodge takes the 450 Heat 1 victory. Next up, we got Heat 2. And this is where we got the heavy hitters. We have Channing and Quigley, the 2 guys going at it for the championship, as Cameron Lee has decided to drop out of this title fight and move on to the pro scene. Had a chance to make in the main last night, but I'd like to take credit for him not making it. So shout out to Cameron Lee there. Oh, this night's gonna go pretty quick, I would assume, with not having the 250 heats or LCQs, and we're off and running. I don't know why I loaded in so late. That was a first. Somebody must be running something. Looks like that Honda. I don't know. I'm not sure why it took me so long. Either way, made it in just in about good timing. So Lane Burks gets out to the early lead, and I think this heat is definitely more stacked than that Heat 1. So this one should be good. As Lane Burks is in the lead, Jacob Melton is not in second. It's Quigley. Quigley's second, Melton third. Channing is in 4th. Shane Bell 5th. Sonny Emerson is in 6th. Jeremy Giobadisky is 7th. And then we have the ever so consistent Nick Carvalho in the 8th position. Michael Ming Woodley back here. Moto Cuts KTM rider Zach Fisher, Preston Taylor, Brandon Cummings, Eric Martin. And this could possibly be why I was lagging, as Tommy Delaray is now getting going and running the Honda with the shift gear, so I could possibly be why it took me so long, but it looks like he realized the race went off a little bit quicker than he thought, so he's just now getting going. Burks is out front. Behind him is Quigley. Burks tries to dive that inside line to defend his line. Did not work out, though, as Quigley is going to have a way better line. Quigley. Looks like he messed up the rhythm section, but so did Burks. So Quigley is going to jump past him into the lead. So it's going to be Matt Quigley now into the lead as Shane Bell runs in 3rd. We find Charles Gable now in 4th. Sonny Emerson 5th. Michael Ming Woodley 6th. Carvalho 7th. And Channing runs in your 8th spot. So May have to watch Channing, see if he can get up a lot more positions, as Tommy Delaray just decides to sit in the corner and shut off the bike and call it a day in this heat, as that's probably not the best spot to shut the bike off, but it is what it is. Gia Wadisky holds your last transfer. Cummings is trying to get around him. Shane Bell has dropped a bunch of spots, actually. It looks like that was Cummings that went down in the background, so Cummings still runs in 10th. Like I said, Bell dropped a bunch of spots. He was up towards the front early. Looks like Carvalho is still in 6th. Channing is in 7th. Back up front, it is still Quigley. Gable now has found himself in 2nd. We have a battle here shaping up between Lane Burks and Sonny Ebenson. Burks tries to get a line on Gable. Wow, Gable goes front end heavy, takes down Burks with him, and that's going to allow Ebenson by. Here comes Ming Woodley, too. So we have a 4-rider battle, possibly. Well, actually, that died pretty quickly as Ebenson gets the good line there, and everybody kind of starts spreading out. But Gable is trying to get back around Burks now, and Channing's starting to jump into the picture. Channing runs in 5th, so this is for 3rd or 2nd, pretty much. Quigley just trying to get around some lap traffic here as he still runs in the lead. They are going to be going on to lap 5 here. This should be going a total distance of, I mean, at this Quigley's pace, it could possibly go 7 laps. We'll have to see. He should be 5 plus 1, so we'll see here. He gets across the line. If he runs a good lap, this race will definitely be going, or I guess it will go, yeah, it could possibly go 7 laps. Quigley tries to get the big line there. He can still salvage this, so we'll have to see what happens. Either way, it's Mikhail Ming Woodley. I apologize for calling you Michael. Mikhail Ming Woodley runs in 2nd. Charles Gable 3rd. Lane Burks and Channing now are going at it for 4th. Channing decides to roll into the sand section instead of doubling to avoid any carnage with Burks. Oh, and it looks like that was Burks that went down after the rhythm section. Carvalho running a steady pace race here in 6th. Ebenson is in 7th, looking at possibly a battle here with Bell. Obviously, he wants to get away from this and run his own race, but Bell does not want to do that, and he wants to try to go up to the back of Sonny and possibly get around him. But either way, that's for 8th, and then Cummings holds down your last transfer in 9th. So it looks like G was the whiskey. That's a hard name to say, but he's in 10th. Trying to get up into the battle with Cummings. So Jeremy needs this last spot to get into the main, but as I was just going to point out, Ming Woodley beat the time, or it would have been Quigley. What has happened to Quigley? Wow, so let's keep an eye on this battle for the lead, because it looks like Quigley went down now. So Quigley had lost the lead, but he did beat the time, so this race will go a total distance of 7 laps. As we were watching Charles Gable now. Channing, wow, these lappers all over the place. It looks like that was Quigley that was just trying to get around him and got unfortunately caught up in the mix. This is going to help out Lane Burks now as he jumps up into a battle with this whole group. Either way, it's going to be Gable out front. Channing is 2nd, so Channing has found his way up into a top position. They're going to be coming to the white flag lap here, and we should, I don't know, let's see what's going on back for the 9th spot. Looks like Carvalho possibly went down, so we might have a battle here. Still Jeremy's back in 10th, so it doesn't look like anything will change, but anything can happen in these amateur classes on this last lap. But it's Charles Gable up front on the Keystone Racing ride. Like I said, surviving through these lappers. There might only be 13, looks like 14, 15. There's 15 guys in this heat. I think it was 13 in the last heat. So, wow, that was a lapper. No, that was definitely a lapper. So, even though there's only a few of these guys, these lappers are all over the place. Either way, Gable might be the guy that survives it all. But Channing looks like he got a good line there. Went to the inside, went double, triple, triple. I think that's what the line is there. Can he get a drive through the whoops and steal this heat race win? Gable is hanging on. Wow, looks like oh no, and Gable just tips the front end. And stealing this victory is not going to be... No, it's going to be Mikhail Ming Woodley. So, Mikhail Ming Woodley just says thank you very much and steals a heat race win after Gable and Channing go down in the within the last couple corners. So, Gable still salvages second. Channing gets a third. Quigley should get a fourth if he decides to get going here. Yep. So, Quigley's going to get a fourth, or I should say fifth. That was Lane Burks that got fourth. Quigley gets a fifth. Shane Bell is going to be sixth. Brandon Cummings seventh. Sidney Edmondson is in the 8th place ride. Nick Carvalho just trying not to lose his last transfer, but he has a very big gap on Gio Wadisky, so he should be able to hang on to the last transfer. Sonny Emerson gets across in 8th, Cummings 7th, and Carvalho will get 9th. That's going to be your field now for the 450 amateur main event. Or I should say out of the heat races, as we still have LCQs to go. But either way, cuts are in. Nothing changes in the top 9, I don't think. Nothing changes. So, looks like I have a cat at my door trying to get in. That's always fun. So, nothing changes with cuts, and next up should be the oh, yep, cat's still jumping. Let's see if I can get any answers here now on the Isaiah situation. I'm kind of interested in this. I would like to know because yeah, so looks like I was somewhat right on that situation, so I figured that maybe they were wrong about Isaiah, but looks like it was ultimately Isaiah riding after all. Looks like the novice LCQ is next, and I'm going to go see what kind of cat is jumping up on my doors. I will be right back before this LCQ starts. Alrighty. Apologize for the hold up there. Not that anything was happening anyways, but of course it was a cat at my door. And now that little ginger cat is in my room. But either way, that phone call will be coming in tomorrow, I think. So we should be in the clear now. Should have no hiccups the rest of the night, hopefully. And I should have a good night of racing still left to go. Obviously, the 250 amateur class is very light this week, but I don't know the point situation for the novice class. I do know that the 450 class point situation is going to be between Quigley and Channing, so we'll keep tabs on that. But we're getting a restart here as we are going on to novice heat, or I just said heat, novice LCQ, I should say. And let me tab out real quick. I need to check something. Alrighty, we should be good to go. Alright, so this is going to be the novice LCQ as we are waiting on the number 244 machine to load on in here, and he is in. So we're going to go with Brian Newman off the start, see what he can do. He's got a kind of a mediocre gait, but you never know. So there's a Honda guy getting all sorts of squirrely, trying to just get himself lined up. He gets taken down. Wow, a bunch of riders go down. One goes flipping into everybody. And I was correct on my hole shot pick. So it was Brian Newman gets the hole shot. I'm pretty good on the hole shots lately with my picking. Ethan Holland is second. Cam Goff, he runs in third. We find Brandon Wolf in 5th, I think, actually. Yep, that would be 5th. And we find Dylan Creedon 6th. Big little pile up here, actually. It's been a few riders. Trevor Schaefer is off into the stands, just trying to get back up and going. Back up front is Newman, Holland, Danner Barton, Brandon Wolf, Dylan Creedon, Cam Goff. So it was Goff that went down now, and he's going down again. Wow, I don't know how he didn't go legs off. Stays up and going. Holland is now trying to get around Barton, or Newman, I should say, for the lead. I think Newman is pretty close in his heat race, so hopefully he will get her done in this novice LCQ. But behind him, he's got a hungry Ethan Holland. And it looks like Brandon Wolf now is up to 3rd with Danner Barton 4th and Dylan Creedon 5th. So keep an eye on the 472 machine of Brandon Wolf. I don't think he's made a main yet this year in this novice class. So I'm sure that his heart is pumping through the roof right now as he gets into the red thing. I like to call it the red thing, but he doesn't go legs off, so he keeps it going. He's running a good race right now. He needs to just keep his heart rate low and think about his happy place, and hopefully he'll be in that main. Either way, Newman is 1st, Holland 2nd, and Wolf still runs in 3rd. Yeah, Wolf's still in 3rd. I'm not sure why it went to Brandon Crace there for a second, but Crace is in 4th now, so he just floated right across some whoops, and he's down. So at this rate, nobody wants to qualify for this main as everybody keeps going down as soon as they get into a transfer spot. We're on to lap 3 of this thing, and it's still Holland and Newman going at it for this race win. They are just basically going at it for the better gate pick and the fact that they can say they won the LCQ. So Holland looks like he stretches it out there just a tad bit on Newman. Newman's still 2nd, so it's going to be Barton. And it looks like Brandon Wolf is ultimately threw it away now, as he is all the way back to 6th. He's got Dylan Creedon in front of him, so Wolf has really threw it away, as it's Albert Tranghees and Danner Barton going at it for the last. No, it should be for 3rd, actually. So Joel Mello goes down. It looks like Wolf was getting through that again. Wolf's now back to 7th, so he's got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time, but anything can happen in this novice class. So it's going to be Holland still up front. So it looks like Holland and Newman should be in the clear. Should be in the clear to make it on into this main, as Newman almost lands on a lapper. It looks like that's Dylan Creedon down. So Wolf's going to get around him. Eli Block's getting through the whip. So we're going to keep an eye on Danner Barton. He is your last transfer spot. So if anything happens, it will allow Block and Wolf to get right into this battle for the last transfer. Oh, Wolf's all over the place back here. Back up front is Holland went down, and wow, Newman just jumps right over him. So Newman's going to take over the lead. So Newman looks like he's going to be taking the LCQ win. As I say that, give a little commentator's curse. He should get back up to win this thing possibly. Holland's pushing though, and Holland goes down. Looks like somebody was a lapper, just going under Tranghees. So Albert Tranghees now, he's going to get across in 3rd. So it's going to be Holland, Tranghees, 2nd and 3rd, and Danner Barton is your guy in the last transfer. And it looks like Danner Barton is going to take that final transfer spot. So looks like Eli Block and the rest of the boys in this field are going to be packing their bags early and watching from the stands for the main event. So Wolf came so close to making his first main tonight, but ultimately threw it away. So Dylan Creedon's going to come across in 6th. Brandon Wolf 7th. And that was Eli Block who's just going to miss out. But Braden Eels getting up with Junior Benavides. And Benavides is not happy with Braden Eel, as he must have Vince Freezied him in a section, and Weston Pike is not too happy with him, as he's waiting for him, maybe going for the punt, doing something, And looks like Junior, his tempers might be through the roof, but he's not very good at punting people, as he ultimately just takes out himself. So that's probably the best race of the night right there, watching that. Either way, it's going to be Newman, Holland, Tranghese, and Barton moving on to the main. I don't expect cuts to change anything, but we will see. I don't think it will change anything, though. We got a few riders still on the track, so as we wait for cuts, I will give you a little look-see of the track here this weekend in Seattle. So we have a sand section, like always, left-hander into a very long rhythm section, but cuts are in, and nothing changes inside the top 4. So next up is the 450 LCQ, and don't forget there is a 250 class tonight, but like I said, there's a very low amount of signups, and we will just be running a main for that class. I do not have a points update on them. I will make sure to actually go check here. I'll pull up RF and get a little look-see on that in between the races, but right now it's time for the 450 LCQ. We're gonna go with Blake Curry. He's got the gate that I always like, and I think Curry might get it. No, he's gonna come out, looks like second. That would be, oh wow, a bunch of people going down in the background. So Gio Wadisky takes the lead early on. Gets a little sketchy. Aaron Cottrell's trying to get over and take the lead from him quick. Oh wow, that really sucks for Gio Wadisky. He barely clipped the red thing, went down. So Eric Martin gets in second, Speck is third, and now the battle is on for fourth. So this is gonna be a fun one to watch now for fourth place, as all these guys are just not wanting to stay up at all this race. Eric Martin's going to take the green flag here and ultimately throw it away. So Speck now moves into the lead as Martin's just trying to get back up. So Speck's in the lead with Melton now in second. Berdeen's third. Curry fourth. Martin is just dropping spots quick. He's back to sixth now. So it looks like Gio Wadisky is all the way back here now. So up front early, and he's all the way in the back now, unfortunately. So old Speck going for the triple off the Dragon's back, and I'm not sure if he went legs off. Yeah, he went legs off. So he had a pretty big lead though, and it looks like, why does it keep going to him for some reason? It looks like that's Berdeen out front, who is pretty laggy. That's going to be Christian Berdeen now takes the lead, as Curry is in second, with Josh Hernandez now finding his way into third, and behind them will be Caden Speck. So this is going to be one to watch now, as this is going to be for the last transfer, as Melton's on the outside looking in, wanting to get into this final transfer spot and find his gate in the main event. But it looks like that was Speck that had messed up, and it looks like somebody else messed up. That was Berdeen, your race leader. These guys are all over the place, and it's going to be Blake Curry now up front. So Hernandez now finds himself in second. It looks like Speck is down again. So Speck might not find his way in this main if he keeps riding like this. He's a very fast rider, but his consistency is not very good tonight, I should say. Right now, though, it is Blake Curry from the IDK team, which is a very factory-sponsored team right there. Anyways, he's going for the triple off. He gets it cleanly. Hernandez does not go for it. I don't think Melton will go for it either. He's actually going for a little single double line, and wow, gets really front end heavy, saves it. Surprised he did not go down there. Now Berdeen now. So that's why I'm having problems with when I spec people for position. So it's Berdeen's lag is causing a little bit of timing gate issues for me with the cam. So there's been a couple times now where I've tried to spec someone and Berdeen's just somehow snuck in there. But should be taking the white flag lap here as Blake Curry comes across the line. He's still out front. Hernandez second. Berdeen finds himself in third, and it looks like Aaron Cottrell doesn't want to make the main tonight, as he just throws himself at Jacob Melton. And it looks like Speck has already rage quit, so bunch of guys are out of this race already, so it's really looks like it's just going to be down to, oh, well, never mind. Nobody wants to qualify apparently. So this top 4 should be safe, as Curry is just going to get around this last lap and should ultimately be in this main no problem, barring any disaster. He's got a few lappers here in front of him that shouldn't affect him too much. In the background, looks like Hernandez is trying to catch him, but Hernandez makes a little mistake in the rhythm section. So it's going to be Blake Curry. Should be looking at an LCQ win here from Seattle as he gets through the last whoop section. Wants to lap this guy. He wants to get him possibly. I don't know if he did or not. But anyways, Blake Curry's going to take the LCQ win. Hernandez is going to come across in second. Berdeen's going to get a third, possibly. Yeah, he should be good for third. So Christian Berdeen gets a third. And Jacob Melton will take your last transfer spot in the 450 LCQ as he goes down. But like I said, he should be good to go, I would think. Just getting back up. As long as he gets to his last whoop section cleanly, he should be good. And he gets through it cleanly. So Aaron Cottrell did all he could, but ultimately it's going to go to Jacob Melton. So I actually didn't realize Cottrell was that close. He would have needed just one more little mistake from Melton, and he would have been there. But either way, Melton's going to hang on for the last transfer. Cuts shouldn't play a factor, but you never know in this amateur class. Zach Fisher is just trying to finish his lap out, so we're going to wait on Fisher to get around here. And Fisher, I think, should be just wanting to finish this one out. So he wants to get all the track time he wants. I don't know if that's a person riding still or somebody that's already finished. So Eric Martin gets a 6. Aaron Cottrell's in your 5th. So like I said, we're just going to wait on cuts now from Zach Fisher. And next up will be the mains. So quick update here on the points. I'm going to go ahead and look. So it's Kevin Gonzalez right now with the points lead over Justin Dye. As I see, Zach Fisher goes down again. So taking forever here to finish. But Andrew Massart is 3rd. Jacob Long is 4th. No, Jesse Carter's 4th. Jacob Long is 5th. Cuts are in. And Cottrell actually got really close to Melton on cuts. If he wouldn't have slid out in that last turn, Cottrell would have actually had him. So, or just say, is it it might be Cottrell. Either way, but it's like Cottrell asking in chat, did they take top 5? Sorry, bud, but they do not. So, unfortunately for him, he will not be finding himself in the main event tonight. Either way, so it's Gonzalez and Justin Dyer we're going to watch out for in the novice class tonight for the points. The 250 West class, I don't even know who showed up, but it's Dakota French, Carter Hutchison, Logan Stinson, Logan Feeder, and Ben Gilles. And I think at this point, French and Hutchison were the only people really going at it. So I would think that Dakota French might be in the clear because I did not see Carter Hutchison's name on the sign-up list, but could be wrong. Either way, and in your 450 amateur class, like we had pointed out, it's going to be between Channing and Quigley tonight. And Ming Woodley is not too far behind. He's going to have a lot of luck, though. So at this point, it's between Quigley and Channing, and then Cameron Lee ultimately dropped out of this points chase. So we will keep a tabs on those 3 riders, as I'm sure Ming Woodley is still hanging on to the hope that he could possibly get back into this championship fight. But we will watch and see. As we are getting a warm-up lap here. Yep, this is the warm-up lap for the 250, or I should say novice, not 250. So we'll keep an eye on Gonzalez and Justin Dye, as those are the 2 guys in the points chase trying to win this title. This is the warm-up lap, and it looks like that warm-up lap was cut short, and we're going into this main. we're going to go with Gonzalez off the start. See what he can do. He's got a pretty good gate. I've called a couple good starts tonight, so we'll see what happens. One guy's humping his bike. Gonzalez doesn't look like he has the jump. It's going to be Ashy Deering on the Rocky Mountain ATV MC ride out front to the early lead. This is your first main event of the night here from Seattle in this open amateur night, I guess I should say. Or just amateur night, whatever you want. But anyways, Beston's going to find himself into the lead quick as Rasmus had went down. So James Beston takes over the lead as Brandon Quigley now follows pursuit in second. Kent Kaiser's third, Ethan Holland fourth, and Brian Newman rounds out the top five. As it was Kent Kaiser getting a little sketchy there through the rhythm section. As Beston goes down with Quigley in the turn after the big long rhythm section, that's going to allow Holland into the lead. Holland straight out of the LCQ and out front early in this main event. He's a little sketchy in the whoop section, but so is Kaiser, and here comes Ashy Deering into second. So two teammates now running in second and third. Behind them is Quigley. Behind Quigley, we got Grigo, Newman, Carter, Rasmus, Rothman, Bliss, Spicer, Dye, Hardman, Trenghees, Kern, Beston, Urich, Smith, Barton, and then there's me on the gate. So it looks like we have one rider that did not show up for the main event tonight that had made it through. But wow, Spicer just jumped through a crowd of people. I'm not sure how he didn't hit anybody, but he's going to gain a bunch of spots, and he finds himself in sixth now. But this top five has already opened up a pretty sizable gap now. But we know that in this novice classes, we're watching Ashley Deering get all over the place, and ultimately Mike doesn't go legs off, so he might actually be good. But we know for a fact that these any of these amateur classes, especially the novice class, anything can happen in a snap of a finger. So, like I said, we'll keep an eye on this entire race as anything will be bound to happen or change, as it is Ashy Deering out front. This race will be going, I think, a total of 10 plus 1, if I'm correct. I think the novice goes 10 plus 1. I want to say 250s are going to go 12, and 450s should be going 15. Actually, not too sure. Yep, this is going to go 10 tonight. So 10 plus 1 is the distance here in Seattle for this novice main event, as Ashy Deering is trying to run away with this thing in the top spot as Quigley follows pursuit in second, as Rasmus Eriksson is in third. Max Spicer, Carter, Rothman, Gonzalez now. This is your points leader. He's in eighth. Keep an eye on him as Dye needs all the points he can get on Gonzalez, and he's actually behind him. So Dye wants to get up there and get around Gonzalez. As here's a huge pile up, and I want to say Gonzalez might be one of them guys down. It's actually not. Gonzalez was one of the first people that had gotten away from it. So Grigo now is in eighth. Albert Trenghees in ninth. Holland 10th, and Dye trying to get around. That was Holland, and Holland's cross jump, and both go down, but it looked like Dye was going to go down already no matter what, because he was coming up short. But still, Ashy Deering out front running away with this thing as Rasmus Eriksson is trying to run him down. Quigley now is falling back to third as it looks like Rasmus got around him. Spicer just trying to survive through this rhythm section as Rothman now is running the nice looking TM helmets there. Looks like that's the Red Bull one, so. Oh, this Quigley went down. He's gonna lose a couple spots actually, not a bunch. Watching Ashy Deering just try to survive through this brutal track this weekend with the ruts and everything. He's opened up a very good lead actually. I think he's up. Let's see what he's at now. He's almost 20 seconds on second. As Max Spicer all of a sudden finds himself in second. So, like I said, we're gonna keep an eye on this now for second place, as Spicer is in second, Rasmus is third, Quigley fourth, Rothman fifth, and Gonzalez is sixth. All these guys are, you can put a blanket over them because they are all right neck and neck. As Rasmus comes up short on the finish line, he's going to have Quigley on the outside going triple up. He gets around him, and Rothman got into the side of, what was it? Rasmus, I think. Yeah, Rasmus. And Spicer still hangs on in second. As Spicer, I just caught in the corner of my eye that he was getting a little front end heavy. I didn't know if he was going to save it or not, and it looks like he did not. So this is all but just helping out Ashy, as he's just non-stop pulling away with this novice main event right now. Rasmus now finds himself in second. Grigo all of a sudden is in third. So Grigo took a huge advantage of all that chaos. Quigley is in fourth, Carter fifth, Rothman sixth, Gonzalez seventh, Spicer eighth, Besson ninth, and Holland rounds out your top 10. So Zane Urick from the Pogo machine, he runs in the 11th spot. As Besson was down in the rhythm section, and I think I was calling Besson out for 92 earlier. Yeah, that is number 62. So in the heat race, I think I kept calling him 92. That is not 92, that is 62. So I take back what I said there. Sorry. Excuse me for the coughing tonight. Either way, still Ashy Deering out front. There's a couple lappers get together there. Rasmus Eriksson still running in second. Grigo running a really good race in third. Quigley fourth. Carter fifth. Holland might be getting up from a crash in sixth. St. Urick is seventh. Rothman eighth. Besson ninth. And Gonzalez is 10th. So your points leader runs in 10th. And Justin Dye is the guy that needs all the points he can get on him. And Dye is really far back. So Dye is definitely not enjoying this track tonight. I think he runs as far as back as 16th. So Dye has a lot of work to do if he wants to get past Gonzalez. He gained those very valuable points in this championship hunt. As that was Brian Newman getting all sorts of sketchy. That's going to allow Kern pass. And possibly Albert Tranghese is trying to get that pass made no matter what happens, as he just launches right in there. But Spicer is going to get around those two guys. And Rothman goes down into the Supercross triple. And it looks like that was Kern that's down in the rhythm section. So these guys are going to jump over him. Everyone jumps over him. So Spicer now is in 10th. So this is all for... Oh, wow! Spicer doing a little triple out of the whoops line there, I see. As his lag plays a huge factor in that line. Gonzalez struggling to get through this first rhythm section. Oh, Beston lands on a lapper. So Beston's going to lose that spot to Gonzalez. Back up front, Ashy Deering trying to run away with this thing. He's got a very sizable gap. Actually, no, it's not. That gap is shrunk dearly, as Grigo is right there pretty much. So, as quick as I was going to judge on Ashy Deering running away with this thing, as a lapper just stops to let him go over the single and basically just ruins him. Not a very smart choice by that lapper there to stop on the face of a jump when the guy is right behind him. So either way, though, that's going to allow Grigo to get it right to the back of him. So let's keep an eye on this battle for the lead, as Ashy Deering has been leading this thing now from the start. So Ashy Deering wants this win. He's been away with it the whole time, and I think that was a lapper. I thought that was him down. Grigo, but Rasmus is right here too. So is Quigley. It looks like Rasmus is a little bit closer than Quigley. But yes, it is going to be Jared Grigo all over the back of Ashy Deering for this novice main event win. These guys are going 10+1. They should be looking at 2 laps to go, as they should be hitting about 9 minutes across the line. So we should have next lap should be the last lap, as Grigo slides out in the turn. It might be the gap Deering needs to hang on for this win, but Ashy's lead was all the way up to about 20 seconds at one point, so he definitely wants to hang on to this novice main event win, as Grigo is still trying to run him down. Rasmus gets all sorts of sketchy on the Supercross triple.
Hello.
So we are joined by co-host Brody Miller, who will be coming in for the 250 amateur main and 450 am mains for the rest of the night. As Ashy Deering,
Glad to be here, as always.
yes, as Ashy Deering is still out front. He is looking at a 5-second lead. He's been leading this thing from the whole shot pretty much, so he definitely wants to win this race, as it looks like that was Quigley in the background, and Carter was down too, and Gonzalez goes down. So this novice class is always exciting, as these guys always seem to just go down every lap.
Oh man, novice class is definitely interesting.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here.
Deering is
Daniel,
just he barely beat it. Wow, that was probably one of the closest I've ever seen. He had hit that finish line at legit 9:59.59. So they're gonna go another lap. So that was not the white flag.
That was a fast lap for the last lap too. 1:02.5. That's pretty decent for a novice rider.
Yeah, and Grigo was down in the background, so that it looks like Ashley once again is gonna extend his lead and possibly walk away with this thing.
Some names I'm a little bit surprised to see in the back over here. James Beston.
Ooh, Rasmus.
7th place. Kevin Gonzalez in 5th. Wow. Interesting. Rasmus, a little bit sketchy going to that berm into the sand section. Have to single his way through that. Loses a little bit of time on 3rd place. Brandon quickly. Oh, he messes up.
Yeah, Rasmus is going to be right beside him.
Right there. Lapper down there. How's that going to play?
Rasmus goes inside. Oh, Quigley gets super front end heavy, and that's going to allow Rasmus to right on by.
And that's also going to allow Kevin Gonzalez to go in the 4th. He caught up pretty quickly. James Beston's going to be creeping up as well. And narrow that gap down pretty small.
Back up front, though, it is Ashley Deering taking the white flag lap here in this novice main event. He has about a 15-second lead over Jared Grigo, and Rasmus Eriksson still runs in 3rd. Keep an eye on where Justin Dye is.
Ash Deering front flip. Sketch.
Oh, no. He has a sizable lead, but it's going to allow Grigo to get it right behind him. So, oh, man, this would be an absolute heartbreaker in Seattle if Ashley Deering can't win this thing.
I believe that's going to be his one-lap bug. Hopefully, lapper down in front of him again. He's going to be okay.
It looks like that was Jacob Rothman that was down there as a lapper.
We went from 15 seconds to 4.4. 4.2 now. Jay Green goes on a charge.
Yeah.
Ash Deering going to take it nice and easy, doubling through that rhythm section, sitting down.
Couple more sections to go for Ashley Deering. Can he hang on to this main event win? A double, a left-hander, a whoop section, and a right-hander. He will be your novice main event winner. He takes it easy through the whoops. One more corner to go, and Ashley Deering hangs on for the novice main event win here. Jared Grigo.
Sketchy in the whoops, but he's going to stay up. Get the tough box for 2nd place. Rasmus Eriksson going ways back 15 seconds. He's going to be in 3rd place. A decent ride out of Rasmus tonight. Brandon Quigley, 4th place. What's the points rundown, by the way, Logan?
It was Kevin Gonzalez was about 20 points up on Justin Dye, and Justin Dye has seen his struggle tonight, so Gonzalez will extend his points lead a lot tonight. So, pretty big points lead now for
Kevin
Gonzalez.
Worked up to 4th. Rasmus Eriksson, 3rd.
Newman comes across in 5th.
Really happy.
Quigley 6th.
That 1st place finished your Grigo.
Yep, definitely.
Two-year rider.
Beston with the 7th. Holland's going to come across in 8th. Possibly. Carter was really close there at the end.
After getting a win to go.
Spicer's just trying to survive on this last lap, as he is actually on the last person on the lead lap, so he'll definitely come across in 10th. And
Harvin back in 17th.
We're going to wait on cuts to come in. I think there might be a guy that need to kick or not. But at this rate, cuts are in, so it's going to be Ashley Deering, Jared Grigo, Rasmus Eriksson, Kevin Gonzalez, Brian Newman, Brandon Quigley, James Beston, Ethan Holland, Jesse Carter, and Max Spicer. It's going to round up your top 10 here in the novice main event from Seattle. So let me go ahead and turn you up a little bit right now.
Sounds like it was a pretty good race for what I'm hearing. That's always good to hear.
Yeah, for the most part, Ashley Deering was the guy that led this entire... I mean, he pretty much led the entire race. He almost threw it away there, though. Almost threw it away, as you saw towards the end. But
right there at the end.
He hangs on for the win. Now, this 250 amateur class, we have not seen at all tonight. Because with the very, very, very low amount of signups, we have not seen any races.
How many signups did we get here?
We're looking at about 6 people, so...
Wow.
Yeah. 250 amateur West was very light, as it looks like Dakota French was your points leader, and he's going to take this championship, as Carter Hutchinson was 2nd, and he's not even here tonight. So
we got Dakota French on the far right line.
Where he looks like we only have 5 people, actually, so a whopping 5 people.
Atkinson, Tanner Thorson, the 5-rider shootout. Everybody gets the top 5.
Yep.
I'm hopping on here with Jeremy Atkinson.
This is the warm-up lap actually here. But
Yeah, just coming out around here watching them.
these guys are actually going to go 12 minutes, so this is
very interesting.
Good.
Might just have to end up racing up against them once they get consistent enough to ride. But I'm going to hop on here with Dakota French with the next rider.
Yeah, these guys are going to go 12 plus 1.
All the way outside. He's going to cut down.
Oh, looks.
It could be the 125 of Benny Gill is doing. It's super sketchy.
I think that's a 250 actually, 252 smoke actually.
Oh yeah, excuse me, 250. I saw the white plates. I should.
Atkinson's in second.
Dakota in third. Tanner Thornton with bars in fourth. Neil Wells, the sub media rider, in fifth. Oh man, a little bit more steps than the novice guys.
Oh man, only 5 guys tonight for this class. Very, very, very light. I'm surprised there's only this many people, but with the end of the SX season coming very close, a lot of 250 West guys probably either forgot or were just over the whole SX thing. So, like I said, we're having a very light turnout tonight for this 250 amateur class, but we still got a race here. We have 5 people all gunning for those points paying positions. And it looks like Atkinson wants to take the most points tonight as he's going to get around the 252-stroke rider of Benny Gill for the lead.
Branch off the track, legs off. Tanner Thorson also legs off.
Oh, and Benny Gill goes down too.
Oh boy.
Man, these guys
Jeremy
are
Atkinson.
all spread out already.
What place is Jeremy Atkinson in? What place is Jeremy Atkinson in the point standings?
I do not know. My phone is dead, and I don't have 2 monitors, so you might want to go ahead and look that up because I don't have anything.
Absolutely wonderful, Logan. I'll go ahead and do that.
Atkinson's already pulling away a pretty big lead.
Clicking in the background. That's my keyboard making this.
Atkinson already has a pretty sizable gap already, so this could be a snoozer very quick.
Man, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised to see only 5 people tonight. I definitely thought there'd be a lot more, but.
Okay. 2017 Taggart. Standings. So, 250 Amateur West. Jeremy Atkinson is in 6th place. Benny Gill is in 5th. Logan Feeder in 4th. Alex Stinson in 3rd. Carter Hutcherson in 2nd. So, we have a lot of the top guys in the point standings here today.
Yeah, Benny Gill and Atkinson are really. Benny Gill, Atkinson, and French are the only 3 that are in the top. I don't know where Thorson and Neil Wells are.
Alex Stinson's in there, isn't he? No?
No. It's only Atkinson, Benny Gill, Neil Wells, Dakota French, and Tanner Thorson. That is all that showed up tonight.
Neil Wells is back in 13th.
Yeah, so.
Watson, 22nd. Huh.
Either way.
Robert Pink not here tonight. Lee Bradley not here tonight. Jason Bell's not here tonight. Wow.
I think Felke is actually banned.
Oh, well, of course he is.
One interesting note I want to point out, since we're going to kind of have a somewhat of a boring race here, so try to keep it entertaining as possible. But Isaiah Dickerson has been unbanned as he was falsely accused of someone riding for him. So,
congratulations to Isaiah.
It's like
free Dickie.
Oh, Neil Wells comes up super short on the finish line triple, and looks like that's going to allow Dakota French around. And Benny Gill, oh, never mind. Benny just dumps the front end in the turn after the finish and quickly goes down.
This is pretty much just a drag race because you can run a faster lap.
Yeah, that's what we got going on here, actually. Atkinson's at a 101.7, French at 102. Oh, wow.
112, and a 133.
Yeah.
He's the winner for the night.
Yeah, Thorson's running some burners back there in the 5th place spot, but hey, he's top 5, so can't say anything.
Hey, do we have a camp tonight or no?
Yeah, we have cans tonight.
Oh, snap. How do you get to the camp thing again? I always forget.
I would have to send you the file. It's
never mind then.
Yeah, you have to do a bunch of, you have to go in time trial, do a lap.
I guess, jeez.
Yeah, but we'll have to definitely, as this race is going on, we'll kind of just talk about what to expect tonight in the 450 class, as it's going to be Cameron Lee has given up on his championship fight. So, pretty loud in the background.
Sorry, guys, that's my mother.
Go ahead and give a quick mute there for a second. And are you good now?
Oh yeah, I'm good now. Mother was here. I didn't know she'd come in.
Oh, all right, all good. But either way, for the 450 amateur class tonight, Cameron Lee has given up on his championship hopes as he's now moved up to the pro class. Quigley leads the points though right now over Channing, and really the only person that can get up into the fight is the number, or I don't know what number he is, but Motion MX team rider of Mikhail Ming Woodley is the only other guy that has a chance at possibly getting to the title fight with 4 rounds to go. So we'll keep an eye on them 3 riders tonight. Like I said, Quigley has the points lead over Channing, so those are the 2 guys to mainly watch. But Ming Woodley obviously still wants a chance at that title, but I think he's about 30, it might be about 40 or 50 points back, so he's not completely out of it, but he's got some work to do. And since you are somewhat on the RF website, go ahead and give me a quick look-see on who was 5th in that point standings in the 450 class.
5th place in RF. Bodie Parker in 5th.
I did not see a Bodie Parker tonight, so I don't think I did at least. So I think, yeah, pretty much it's going to be Quigley, Channing, and Ming Woodley that has any shot at this title. So we'll keep an eye on that. But for this 250 West title, I'd say we already just pretty much crowned the champion, as Dakota French should be taking this title with ease as Carter Hutchinson just decides not to show up. So definitely think Hutchinson or French will win this 250 West title here on the amateur side of things. As he wants this race win though. He doesn't want to let it go just easily. As Atkinson's, we were halfway through this thing. Atkinson's still running the solid pace up front, and this race win's going to be between Atkinson and French, as they're almost 30 seconds up on Neil Wells. So Tanner Thorson looks like he is a fairly far ways back. I think Atkinson's actually going to be lapping Thorson. French is running him down though. It's down about 4 seconds. French just needs to get around this lapper, and the Tanner Thorson just decides to ruin that any hope of a battle for the race win tonight.
Attaboy.
But either way, Atkinson still running up front. He's been leading this thing from pretty early. Atkinson definitely has the speed to win, and on a race where it's only 5 people, he should definitely win these races. Neil Wells right now running in on a podium. He's running in 3rd. Benny Gill is in 4th. So Brody Miller's best buddy, Neil Wells, runs in 3rd. Behind him is Benny Gill on the 252 stroke.
My best buddy.
Oh yeah. Taking a good look here at Neil Wells, rocking the Seb Media KTM rod. Rocking some 7 gear there with a nice white looking helmet. Not sure
Chris Channing throwing out the banter in chat. That's crazy. I haven't seen that word in a long time.
Haha. As the Britons people would say, whiffy banter. As Dakota French goes down the long rhythm section again. So Atkinson is still going to extend his lead. If you're watching right now, this is your 250 Amateur West main event. We have a whopping 5 riders tonight, so that's why things are a little bit slow in the broadcasting booth, as we have a very, I guess you want to say, boring race. But it is what it is. It's still a race. It's still points. Just like your Open A class at your local track. I know where I live, only about 5 or 6 people ever show up anyways for Open A. That's just how it is. But I know, depending on where you live,
great.
depending on where you live, it might be a lot more. I know places where you show up and Open A has 15 to 20 people, and then where I live, it's about 5 people. So looks like we're just having a local race here at Seattle.
Absolutely.
I hear the 2-stroke in the background. Everywhere I go, that 2-stroke, I just hear it ripping in the background. He's still in 4th. Neil Wells is a pretty good far ways in front of him, as Wells actually goes down, so it's going to allow Benny Gill to gain on him. We'll see if anything, if he can maybe get closer to him and maybe get a battle going. But we're on to lap 10. They should be looking at about 3 to 4 laps to go here. As we continue to watch Atkinson run away with this thing. He's been leading this thing pretty much from the start.
And Wells, and it's just really weird. Everything's a huge gap between everybody. Benny Gill's about 8 seconds back, but
yeah, that's about really the closest battle on the track would be for the 3rd spot. As Tanner Thorson, I think, has gotten lapped now either once or twice.
He's been lapped once.
Oh, all right. So he's been lapped once. I said that once or twice.
You're going 50-50 there.
Yeah, true. We'll go on board with Jeremy Atkinson here, see if he can run a good lap, as they're going to hit the 10:35 mark, so we should be looking at about 2 laps to go. Atkinson running ever so consistent out front with 102s and 101s. Takes the outside lane here before the sand. Haven't seen many people take that line. Really good job though on the track this week. Really love the stadium, must say. Love what they did with the stadium. I like the outdoor vibe. Especially when we get to tracks like this, Anaheim and San Diego and Oakland and all those tracks are the same for when they're outside. But, when you get at a track like this, it's pretty sick when you go outside again. Like Vegas, I really think was the only other round that was outside last year. But now with the addition of Seattle and Salt Lake, or other than East Rutherford was outside. But
yes, it was. That's true.
Now that we have Seattle and Salt Lake, these last 4 rounds of IRL Supercross are going to be outside.
Did they race last year in the Rogers Dome in Toronto?
The Rogers Dome in Toronto, is that what you said?
Yeah, did they race there last year? So I remember one of the years it had renovations. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before.
Yeah, they raced in Toronto last year, but it was all still inside.
Yeah, I know they raced in Toronto. Because I thought they raced in the Blue Bay Stadium.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't... Actually, honestly, I don't know what stadium they raced in.
Not this year. Last year they raced in Rogers Center, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what stadium they raced in, but...
Tanner Thorson DC'd at some point. So...
Yep, Tanner Thorson was pretty much going to get 5th anyway, so I figured he'd pack his bags up early and just get a head start on the drive home. As during that conversation, Atkinson ran a 101.6 and was a 101.3 that lap, or I should say a 103.
103.
Yeah, but he's going to take the white flag lap here. Atkinson still holding her down out front. And this
pretty good ride against the whole field today.
Yeah, definitely. He is laying down the hammer. As he is
burning some rubber out there on the dirt.
Demolishing the field, I should say. Any crash by Neo Wells would let Benny Gill up there, but it's a pretty sizable gap, so I don't think anything's going to happen there.
Yeah, Benny's kind of lost it.
I think the question
Benny's out there doing it his way right now.
Does Benny Gill survive to not get lapped by Atkinson? Let's see what happens here. So let's see if Benny Gill can survive to this last whip section. If he goes down, Atkinson will get him. He gets to do this last whip section, so Benny Gill's going to get that last lap. But taking your 250 Amateur West main event win.
It's still the white flag, buddy.
Oh, it's going to be...
Just kidding.
Jeremy Atkinson's going to take your main event win here in the 250 Amateur West class.
Good job, Jeremy.
Dakota French should be wrapping up the title, I would have to say. I don't think he'll wrap it up just yet, but if he did, then Dakota French is going to...
If it ends up like tonight did.
Yeah, Dakota French should be wrapping up this title. He's going to take a second.
I'm trying to front flip. Oh, that's what happens.
Neil Wells is going to take a podium in 3rd. And the last man on track is going to be your 2-stroke machine. Benny Gill. Oh, wow. Neil Wells stays up. I don't know how he didn't go down there. So everybody in the 10. Oh, I want to point out, Atkinson and French's lap times are the exact same. So, GG there.
Good job, boys.
So it looks like Benny Gill is left out on the fan club as he runs a 103 as his fastest lap, and he cannot join the 101 club. Has
Oh, you can make it, bud.
the moto chasing Bales stop him before the finish. And that's going to be your 250 Amateur Westman event, though, here, as it's just going to be Atkinson first, French second, Wells third, Benny Gill is going to get a fourth, and Tanner Thorson gets a fifth. So the five-man rider race is over, and now it's time for, I guess you could say,
450 action here tonight.
I guess you could say the real main event of the night, the 450 amateur class.
I'm actually pretty excited to see this. This is always a good race to watch, indeed.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's going to be a little interesting without Cameron Lee in it, but it's okay.
I want to point out that your buddy Nick Carvalho transferred right out of the heat race with the 9th. So Nick Carvalho stepping up to the 450 amateur class this week. He'll be in this race. But like I said, your racers to watch this tonight, it's going to be Quigley, Channing, and Ming Woodley. As Isaiah Dickerson is in this race too, so he could always walk away with this
Isaiah
thing.
Dickerson just screwed himself over by pulling a hole. He said to Brandon Cummings, Kevin Davis, maybe Chris Channing did too. Who knows?
Yeah, possibly the sight lap curse, but the best race of the night.
I'm gonna hop on with Mr. Chris Channing.
Yeah.
To watch this one go for it.
I'll actually.
He really needs it tonight.
I'll go with you if I can find Chris.
He is in P22.
I find him finally.
He's gonna get a bad jump.
Yeah, he gets a bad start.
Back.
It's gonna be the Matt Quigley.
Matt Quigley.
So your
MX rider.
Points leader, and Isaiah Dickerson's right
second,
beside him. Oh,
and then he gets taken out.
Oh, and it was Carvalho that was into the lead. So Carvalho had a chance there. Yeah. Quigley must have not gotten the legs off. He's in second still.
Kozak in third. Attaboy Ed.
Yeah, Ed running in 30. Oh, I thought I just said 30. He's running in third, and I just saw your race leader went down. It was Caleb Hall. So
Channing into fourth after a bad get off for Jacob Melton. Chris Riesenberg checks in the fifth.
We could be looking at a snoozer right now if Quigley's out front this early. He could be.
Quigley's gonna be on rails now.
Yeah, he could definitely walk away with this thing easily and extend his points lead. As Kozak running in second, but Channing is in third. Oh no, Channing goes down. Oh, Riesenberg loops out, and Ming Woodley goes down. So these guys are all struggling through this rhythm section. And here comes Carvalho running a solid race up early. So it's nice to see.
Felt pretty comfy on these 450s.
I'd like to see Carvalho have a good race tonight. He hasn't really had a standout race in this 450 class this season. So it'd be nice to see if he can get
a fourth on that race right
good race. But it is Matt Quigley out front, starting to really stretch his lead out as he gets really close to the hay bales there. But Kozak's still in second. Cummings getting a little boner air in the rhythm section. He's still in third. Jones fourth. And Carvalho is in fifth. Channing runs in sixth. Riesenberg's in a battle now with Berdine. See if Berdine can get the inside on Riesenberg. As Riesenberg has now found a new home on that Husqvarna dyno as he's gotten off the CR and looking for that extra power.
As they run, Quigley's just going to extend his points lead on Chris. Unless Chris can catch up. There's a 4-point gap between both of them. Ming, he's a lot down. He's like 60. He's about 60.
Oh my God, Carvalho just got all sorts of sketchy in the rhythm section. He's down. So Carvalho's going to throw away that top 5 ride that he had going. As Berdine and a couple other riders get around, including Charles Gable, Chris Riesenberg, and Caleb Hall.
Seth Jones ran a 58.8 last lap.
Oh man, so Seth Jones is one to watch right now. Yeah, like you said, a 58.8.
Rails. Christian Berdine goes down. Charles Gable down.
Seth Jones is the only guy under a minute, and it was actually a 58. So wow, Jones is on rails right now.
Quigley a 101.2 last lap. Quigley's gonna try to not do anything too dumb to where he puts his race in jeopardy.
And as we were just saying about Jones being on rails, he got around Ed Kozak, makes a mistake in the turn before the finish, though, so runs a 102 that lap.
Ed's just happy you're running in the top 5. We already know that versus PC MMX Honda.
I'd have to say Ed is just happy to not miss signups this week. So
Chris Jennings works his way up to 5th, 6th place. He ran a 1:01.7 last lap. Chris is just trying to gain some position so he can get all the points he can, so that gap does not get any bigger between him and Quigley.
Definitely.
He's going to have a little bit of a mess up, and Channing's going to go wide, go to Bales. He's going to be on his back tire going into this dragging back section. We have Ed Kozak down.
Oh, man, yeah. Ed went down.
He's going to drop down to 5th. Nick Carvalho is in 6th place. He's about 16 seconds down. Chris Riesenberg. Protest the man. Just kidding. But he's going to take down Nick Carvalho.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
And Chris Channing went down as well in the 5th position. He's going to be... Oh, he's still going to be having a decent lead on Ming Ming, who is in 6th.
Yeah, I was just going to point out with that carnage.
Down again, and there's a pile up in before the triple.
With the carnage that happened with Riesenberg.
Another rider down, Kevin Davis.
Oh, man. With the carnage that happened with Riesenberg and Carvalho, I wanted to point out there that Ming Woodley took advantage of all that and jumps up into the 6th spot.
Yeah, as we were saying, Matt Quigley, he's got a 15-second lead now. So he's going to have a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, go ahead and quickly check
Seth Jones off the track.
Yeah.
He's going to be even farther down now.
Actually, Brandon Cummings
is second place. Brandon Cummings
in
3rd place.
I was just going to say, Cummings having a great ride in 3rd.
Kozak going to have to try to battle off 2nd place guy.
Ooh, Channing on the inside.
Really sketching that inside line. That's a tough line to take, especially on a 450. Channing cuts down.
Ooh, stays lower on the triple. Oh, Ed's all over the place.
Oh, Ed.
So is Channing. Ed's holding the line. Oh, Ed jumps. Oh! Man, I thought Ed was going to maybe do something dirty, but he keeps it sort of clean. But as he cleans his front tire right into the hay bales.
And he's going to let Riesenberg by Christian Berdine in the 8th spot, Kevin Davis in the 9, Christian Gabel in the 10. Nick Carvalho, who was running up in the front at one point, he's down to 13 now, so. Jose Hernandez in 12th.
I want to point out right now, P21, Isaiah Dickerson is just, I don't even know what he's doing. He's just trying to hold it wide open everywhere, and he's having an awful race, running 115s at the moment. But,
side lap curse right there.
Well, Lane Burks is all over the place, as he's running a Honda with handguards. That's a 2-stroke, actually. So Burks jumps on the 2-stroke for the main event. I don't remember him being on the 2-stroke in the heat race. So shout out to Lane Burks riding the 2-stroke for this main event.
2-stroke revival.
Oh, Perez goes down. That's going to allow Burks past him.
Goes down. That was Shane Bell who also was down on that.
But it all Quigley is gone down, so the lead's going to drop down a little bit.
He's going to regain though. He's still about 16 seconds out. Seth Jones trying to lay some heaters down.
Yeah, I wonder if Jones...
He's narrowed that. Yeah, he's narrowed it down to 6 seconds. So.
Yeah, I wonder if Jones could do anything with this.
Taken out by lap rider.
Man.
Chris Channing's going to get an easy entry into 3rd place, and that's going to bring the points gap still a little bit smaller.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you right there, Cummings, he was just trying to do whatever he could to stay up, and no matter what he did, it seemed like he was just going to take it down no matter what.
Yeah.
But Jones, though, running a very good race in 2nd. Go ahead and give me a quick check on where Jones is in points. I've seen him up front a couple times up this season. So
Seth Jones is currently 8th place in the 450M standings.
What is his results, if you want to go ahead and give me a quick update? Oh, he goes for the triple on. Oh, man, this looks like that triple on is really tough, and I struggled with it yesterday in the yesterday races, and I'm surprised to see some of these AM riders even going for it. I didn't think that'd really be a line, but some of these guys are getting a little frisky and going for it.
So he skipped the first round. He raced 14th in
oh, Channing and Jones are side by side actually at the moment for the 2nd place battle. Sorry to interrupt you, as Channing cross jumps him. Oh, and Channing hits the hay bales. But go ahead and
Seth Jones has had quite the ups and downs of the years. First race of the year was round 2. He finished in 14th. So that's whatever, first race of the year, round 2 at San Diego. Didn't race until round 8, where he won. I believe round 8 was Atlanta. Was it?
Yeah, round 8 was Atlanta actually.
Yeah, won that.
Oh, Jones is down. It's got a lot of Channing pass.
12th place at round 9, 22nd round 10, 18th in round 12, and 20th in 13. So he's had some ups and downs this year, skipping a few races, but
He won a race once, so that's crazy to think about those results. Basically 18th on back, and all of a sudden just a random race win in there.
yeah, pretty much he's only placed inside the top 10 once, and that was a win.
But now this is what I want to kind of look forward to at this race, at this point, as we're a little bit over halfway. Channing has now found his way into second, and Quigley's in first. I'd say for this point on, Channing, he might not win this race, as Quigley has a pretty big lead, but I'd say it'd be a little personal win if Channing can clip off a bunch of seconds on Quigley and get this gap down a good 5 or 6 seconds. Give him a little confidence booster. Definitely knows that he can either be faster than him, or even Quigley could have a personal gain and gain on Channing. So I want to keep an eye on this.
Speaking of him being faster, Channing did run a faster lap.
Channing runs a 59.8.
0.3 of a second faster than Quigley's fast.
I think we got to watch. Keep an eye on Quigley. Any crash, and it's going to closing this thing up, as Jones is still trying to do that line, and Jones goes down again trying to do that line.
That's going to give Ming Ming top 3.
Ming Woodley.
Brandon Cummings is going to move into the 4th spot as he gets really
Kozak. Checker's having a great ride. We're going to go ahead and spec the battle right now for 7th between Chris Riesenberg and Josh Hernandez. Hernandez has an outside line. Oh, no. Oh, Hernandez just got robbed.
That was over in the 2nd position as well.
That was Quigley that snuck through him.
Triple section, as he's going to be 22 seconds down.
Burdine actually snuck through him also.
Down
So,
that is.
Actually, I don't know what just happened. I want to say Riesenberg might have just put Hernandez on the ground. So that should be a fun one to look at on the forums, possibly, if anything gets said. But either way, we find Nick Carvalho back here in 13th.
Seth Jones down again in 4th.
Isaiah Dickerson finally had enough. He rage quits.
Yeah, shoot, man.
Evanson's out. Melton's out of this race. McKissick's 18th. Our two-stroke ripper of Lane Burks is 17th. Shane Bell, 16th.
Channing went down again at some point. Ming Woodley is into 2nd place.
Oh, man. So I think we had this problem before with Channing. I want to say it was at Daytona. We started talking about how good he can be and what he can do, and it just seems like
potential. It's just the consistency is just. If he can be consistent and ride his lap solid, he's definitely a threat to the whole field.
Definitely think we have some curse on Channing, though. We've talked about him a few times this season. He always seems to have some bad luck since we started talking about him. Either way, though, as we were talking about earlier with the points, basically Ming Woodley at this point, he basically just needs absolute disaster to strike Channing and Quigley. Obviously tonight,
he needs to get some outright wins on these guys as well.
Yeah, Ming Woodley would definitely just need to win out and hope for them to do bad. But I mean, at this point, he'll gain some points. If you really want to get technical, I would say the battle for Ming Woodley is to try to get Cameron Lee in points, because Cameron Lee's still up a good bit on him. So
yeah, Cameron Lee, though absent, is 30 points. So
yeah, so Ming Woodley is going to gain pretty much. I mean, he's basically going to gain about 22 tonight, so he would only need one more race to really get that. But still, anything can happen with this is after this race. We're going to be looking at 3 rounds to go. So
yeah, we're looking at 3 rounds to go. This is definitely 14. Yeah, Ming Woodley's riding is very solid right now. Very solid.
Quigley just threw down a 101.5. 59.5 is his fastest lap. Ming Woodley at 59.7. Channing, see who has the fastest lap of the race. So might be Jones at that 58.8, and I think it is. So
Jones.
Yep.
Ming
so
minute 7 last lap. He's running about a second faster than Quigley on the pace. We sadly do not have 22 more laps to go, or else he'd probably be able to catch him if he ran those laps every lap. But
I want to point out. Where is Quigley lapped up to, actually? Just a wonder fact, since Quigley
he has lapped up to 6th place. Ed Kozak is on the 12th lap. Yep. Seth Jones is on the lead lap, so at the 13th spot. Actually, that's not true. I might be wrong.
I would have liked to seen Seth Jones run some more consistent laps, and I feel like if Jones would have ran his pace there for a couple laps and not tried to kept doing that stupid triple on, I feel like we could have seen a race between him and Quigley, but Jones went for it. And
Jones at one point was running extremely fast.
Yeah, definitely. Kozak having a good race still in 6th. I just saw in the background Channing get up from a crash. So
yeah, he's fast when he runs consistent. It's just he cannot afford these fallovers like he's having right now in these races if he wants to win this championship and take it. I mean, like I said earlier, he's 4 points down from Quigley. So if anything goes wrong with Quigley, Channing has to be there to capitalize on it. Tonight, that's just not happening for him. Ming Woodley's going to interfere, play a spoiler in this championship in the 2nd position, gain some points for himself, which at this point, Quigley's just going to make his lead even bigger on everybody. So,
yeah, most definitely.
Good rides out of all these guys. I mean, top 3 is nothing to be ashamed about.
I'm going ahead and looking back through the pack just to see if we can find a battle right now. And right now it might be Michael Hodge and Kevin Davis are going at it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at right now as well. Michael Hodge. He's going to get out.
Oh, my God. Davis is all over. Wow. What a save.
As he is getting left by Chris Channing, I believe, who didn't see him get up from that.
Oh, Burdeen just decks Kevin. Or that wasn't Davis. That was Burdeen hit Hodge. So that was.
Grant also went down to the 5th spot. Seth Jones in the 4th, and him and Channing get together on the finish line. They both go legs off.
Oh no!
That's going to open up the door for. That's going to open the door. Where's he at?
Cummings. Oh, and he puts Channing in the ground.
Channing's in the dirt. Seth Jones is going to be in the 4th now.
No, this is not what Channing needs. He needs max points at this rate if Quigley's out front. Quigley.
And, Cummings down. Seth takes him down.
Here he goes. A little bit of a miracle there for Channing. Gets around him easily. They're on the last lap. Quigley has took the white flag. And at this rate, Quigley could possibly lap them if they go down. So we're going to watch this battle right now. Oh, as Channing goes for the triple up. He puts him in the hay bales. Channing is down.
Go down. Seth Jones.
Jones gets back up. Channing gets back up. Where is Quigley?
Cummings.
Oh, no.
Quigley's on the face of that triple right now. He's right behind Channing.
I see Jones getting all sorts of sideways. They're not going to get Ming Woodley. So Ming Woodley goes down. As I was just going to talk about him, but they're definitely not going to get up to him. So Ming Woodley has a 2nd locked up. So at this point, Channing needs to get 3rd. They try to keep this points gap at bay. Jones slides it into the turn. So they're going to fight for another lap as Channing needs to get around this lapper. But, Jones is getting back on track. This lapper is in the way.
The lapper did take him down, so he's not going to cost too much damage.
Channing messes up. Now Channing has another lapper in the way. Oh, Channing messes up again.
That's probably going to be the tail of that story, unless Seth Jones has a remarkable get-off.
Keep an eye on Jones, though. We'll have to keep an eye. But either way, though, congratulations, Matt Quigley, on your 450 main event win.
Ming Woodley's going to go ahead and cross in 2nd. Seth Jones is going to throw a dirty...
I think that's the end there. Channing has gone down.
Is down. This place has been lapped out with Brandon Cummings. So this is most likely going to be your final. I mean, relying on cuts. We'll see what happens. And looking in the chat, Neil Wells saying that Channing was punted by a lapper.
Oh, man. So unfortunately for Channing, he's only going to get 18 points tonight. To Matt Quigley's 25, so he's going to lose. I think what's that, about 7 points right there. So
7 points more down, so he's going to be down to 11.
And according to Channing, he said that he either missed or didn't race or even sign up for the round 4 at Phoenix, which is still yet to be ran, if anybody remembers that whole night. So Channing's actually told me that he's a lot farther down in this point standings that it actually shows. So we could possibly have already seen Quigley wrap this thing up already, as Channing has got his temper raging right now, as he just is not want to finish at all. I want to point out, though, Ed Kozak with a solid 6th. Riesenberg gets a 7th, as we're just watching Channing still crash. Quigley gets a 1st, though. Ming Woodley's 2nd. Jones 3rd. Channing's going to come across in 4th eventually. Cummings 5th. Kozak 6th, Riesenberg 7th, Hernandez 8th, Gable 9th, and Kevin Davis comes across in 10th. Shane Bell 11th, Berdine 12th, Matthew Perez 13th, Hodge 14th.
There's the word. Channing Fisher getting DQ'd, so he's going to have to drop.
He finally gets across the line. Cuts don't change anything inside. Oh, wow. Hernandez goes from 8th to 11th. Wow. Hernandez had 17 seconds of cut. Wow. I'm pretty sure that's Hernandez, yeah. Hernandez had 17 seconds of cuts. Where in the heck can you get 17 seconds of cuts on a Supercross track? And we're looking at the Yeesher of Brandon Holdsworth on the gate. But definitely a solid night of racing. Glad to be a part of it. Once again, we will go on to next week. I don't think I'd be Oh, actually, I take that back. We have an off week. So in 2 weeks is the next round. I would think Matthias should be streaming that night, but if not, I may or may not be there. I don't know. Either way, it was fun streaming. Congratulations to everyone that did good tonight. Looks like Dakota French is pretty much going to wrap up the West title. I'm pretty sure the novice title, Kevin Gonzalez, is going to be wrapping that up here shortly. And the 450 amateur title, I want to say Matt Quigley might have that thing unlocked too. So, but we'll keep it on that 450 title. It's still not completely over yet. Channing is still going to keep trying, but he lost some very valuable points tonight. Oh. And the 250 East, I'm not sure what the 250 East are looking like. But
interesting little story right here. Lane Burks did not ride that CR250 by choice. He said he had an FC450 selected the race, and then was forced to a CR250.
Ha! So interesting news for Lane Burks there. That's actually happened to me once. Not in RF though. For an Aussie Nationals, I went to go race a bike, and I ended up getting put on the 06 YZ. So that was a fun time. But either way, congratulations to everybody that killed it tonight. And
absolutely.
Hope to see you guys.
Congratulations to Matt Quigley for getting that lead up even more than he already had.
Yeah, definitely. So hope to see you guys in 2 weeks. If I'm not there, good luck. And if I am, I'll see you then. But, yep. Peace out.